Okay, thank you, Ken. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the November 25th, 2025 Board of Selectmen meeting, both in person and via Zoom. And as we always do, we're going to start off the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, but also followed by a moment of silence for Art Norton. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you could remain standing, please, for a moment for Art Norton, who passed away a few days ago. Art was a great long-time volunteer here in town. He chaired RTM Districts 12 and RTM District 9. And also was on the BET just a few years ago, and also was one of the leaders in getting the money for the public-private partnership over at the Bendheim Western Greenwich Civic Center. So we want to keep Art and his family in our prayers. Okay, thank you. All right, is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of November 14th, 2025?
Lauren Raven, so moved.
Janet Stone McWigan, I second.
All those in favor, Fred Camillo is a yes.
Lauren Raven, yes.
Janet Stone McWigan, yes.
Thank you. And is there a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting of November 14th, 2025?
Lauren Raven, so moved.
Janet Stone McWigan, I second.
All those in favor, Fred Camillo is a yes.
Lauren Raven, yes.
Janet Stone McWigan, yes.
Okay, thank you. First Selectmen's updates, very short list today. Want to congratulate the Greenwich High School students who put on the charity basketball game last night. They did a really good job. A few of us old goats played the Harlem Wizards, and we're paying for it this morning. But it was a successful night, a lot of fun. And remember, there was one in the mid-'70s I went to where we had professional athletes came here. And I went to that game at the high school, and Chuck Wepner played, who fought Muhammad Ali and knocked him down one round. But the funny thing is, I don't remember who played for Greenwich. I just remember who played Greenwich, and I'm sure those kids that were there last night won't remember us, but they'll remember the Wizards. Okay, this week we have Thursday, Town Hall will be closed, so I want to wish everybody a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. On Friday morning at 11, we're going to be over at Sammy Bridge to start the Reindeer Festival. That starts at 11 on the dot. That's always a fun day if you can make it. The Turkey Trot is this Saturday at 9 o'clock, so it's for the Greenwich Alliance for Education. If you still want to run or walk, it's a 5K run, and it's I think a mile walk. You could still do it this week. There's some spots open, so it's for a great cause, and it's a lot of fun. Although if you do it, dress warmly. It's supposed to be 41 degrees, which is not normal for this time of year. Well, later on Saturday, I'm going to be over at the at Greenwich Woods for Mrs. Robinson, Rosalie Robinson, who's a longtime friend, and their family's been in town forever. She'll be 100 years old. There's a lot of people over at Greenwich Woods that are 100 years old. And when I'm there, I'm going to stop and say hello to my kindergarten teacher, who will be celebrating her 108th birthday, who's on Facebook every day and sends emails to us all every day. She's terrific. Sunday is the Albanian flag raising at 11. If you're around, they do a terrific job. They come here, they do lots of dancers and singers, and it's really an event that they're very, very proud of. So we're looking forward to seeing everyone there for the Albanian flag raising. On Monday, we have our swearing in at 5 at the Cohen Easter Greenwich Civic Center. It's a fitting location. So that's one of the first things we really endeavored to get done. And it's, if you haven't been there, we were there Friday night for the Old Timers Athletic Association. They changed the name, and when I spoke, I gave the old name, and they corrected me 3 times. But it's now the Greenwich Old Timers Athletic Youth Alliance or something like that. But they had, I think it was a little over 300 people there. And it was a beautiful venue. We normally go to hotels, and they all said they loved this Civic Center much better. So hopefully they'll be back next year for that. December 4th, we have the Town Hall tree lighting here at 4.
And that's Thursday, right?
That's Thursday.
Because we keep seeing
On Friday.
that it's on Friday. People have been promoting imagery that it's on Friday, so I was hoping to get that correctly.
Probably Ken's fault, but that's all right.
Well, it's the people who are copying somebody.
It showed up on our on calendars on the 5th, but it's the 4th, right, Ken?
I believe it's the 5th.
We have it down for the 4th, but if it's the 5th, so keep your calendars open on both the 4th and the 5th. And if you go both days, you're gonna be batting 500. You'll hit it just right. We'll definitely do a correction on that, whatever, a confirmation on that. Then there's the League of Women Voters Holiday Party, and then we have something after that at 6:30. And then Saturday, there's lots of things going on. There's the Byram tree lighting at 4. There's the Old Greenwich First Light at 5. And then the Filia di Rose, the Sons of Rose Italy, they're having their Christmas party over in Glenville at 5:30. So we're going to try and hit all of them. But it's, they're all three of them are great events and lots of fun. On Sunday, we're going to do the Old Greenwich Menorah lighting. And then the following week, on the 14th, we'll do the one here in Chabad in Central Greenwich. On Monday, December 8th, Greenwich Fire Department's going to have the Santa and Grinch team giving out holiday cards. So we're looking forward to that. I want to thank them for all they do there. And again, I want to thank everybody for a great year. And we'll be saluting our teammate up here in a little while, as it's her last meeting here, but she's going to be switching positions and still serving the community on the RTM. But we'll get to Janet in a little while. But again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning, Fred, Janet, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Looking forward to some turkey. I will not be around on the 6th. For anybody that knows me, I have an annual girls' weekend. All my college friends, we are actually going to see the Radio City Music Hall Rockettes. It's the 100-year anniversary, so I know that's very personal, but I'm excited about it. In terms of an update, and Kate, maybe you got a note about this, I attended our monthly WestCog meeting, and our dues is going up 3% every year. So rather than one big dues increase, they're going to parse it over multiple years. So I know we'll be getting the bill for that soon. And interestingly enough, what we learned is, they help us with getting all of our state and federal grants. A lot of road work, the Connecticut DOT, LOTSIP, Connecticut infrastructure, et cetera. And for every dollar that we put in as a local entity, we get $9 back from the state and federal. So WestCog is extremely important to us as a community. There's 18, if you weren't aware, there's 18 municipalities. I always thought it was 17, but it's actually 18. And a lot have turned over in terms of party affiliation as to who might be running the town. So that was interesting to see. So we welcomed a few new faces based on the November 4th election. Also talked about the Byram River Bridge replacement. One of the things that they just added a modification to, this is probably more for DPW, was what's the air quality for the area. So they just added the air quality adjustment. So no big deal. We had a vote on that. And we went through a lot of the, what was soon to be approved. Everyone imagines that the current governor is going to approve that bill that, did not have public input or bipartisan input. But we did discuss, some of the impacts to Greenwich and some of the examples, and I'm sure the Planning and Zoning Commission is on top of this, some of the examples that we could do to get ahead of it and make some definitions within our own town. Things like what is our documented right-of-way process, examples of when on-street parking is not permitted, things for safety reasons, like if a fire truck has to get by, or if, snow removal, things like that, just to get ahead of, potential development in our community. I mentioned 2 weeks ago that I think we cleared our backlog, and I really wanted to before Janet moved off, so that there was no interviews that she interviewed but didn't vote on. So we cleared our backlog of candidates. We know that the Riverside School Building Committee was something that was added that we had to pursue and nominate people for. We'll also have some other building committees because of the recent election, some Board of Ed members moving off, BET members, et cetera. So we're going to have some more openings that we'll definitely publish. I know that we're going to be meeting with the chair of the Julian Curtis Building Committee shortly because our law department did opine that we can't have 2 Board of Ed members and we can't have 2 BET members. So some regular Board of building committee members have now taken on elected positions. So they can't continue to serve the building committee as a non-elected official while they are an elected official, if that makes sense. Kind of like a tongue twister. All right, I think that's it. Sorry.
Okay, no, a lot of information there. Thank you, Lauren.
And before Janet goes, the tree lighting is indeed Friday, the 5th at 4:15 PM.
Okay, so whoever started that rumor on the 4th, I
They
can't
will be-
blame these two.
We will find them and tar and feather them.
We'll find somebody that's not here, as the absent are always guilty. Good morning, Janet.
Good morning. So actually, I would like to start by taking this opportunity to honor the life of Yara Burnett, who passed away last week. She was a member of the BET. She was a past president of the Greenwich League of Women Voters, as well as the Connecticut League of Women Voters, and someone I treasured as one of my North Stars. So I just wanted to acknowledge, all of her contributions to Greenwich. And Fred, once again, you did an exemplary job of getting us through all of the events that we're looking forward to in December, but you forgot the Boys and Girls Club pancake breakfast on the 6th.
Oh, well, you probably missed the email. And what time is that?
It starts early. I forget exactly. I want to say 8:30. Certainly, if you go at 9, you're safe.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
But yes, this is my last Board of Selectmen's meeting, and with Thanksgiving almost here, I find myself feeling very grateful. It's truly been a pleasure and privilege to have served as your select person these last 4 years, and I thank you for this honor. I'm proud of the record and reputation I established. However much I have given, I have gotten back in abundance. But change is good. I leave this office feeling inspired and optimistic for our town's future. I congratulate Fred and Lauren on their reelection. I know Rachel will be an impactful selectwoman, and I will do everything I can to support her in this role. And I will continue to serve Greenwich by returning to the RTM, this time along with my younger son, James. I'm delighted we will be one of at least 3 parent-child teams. So whoever said Gen Z is disaffected needs to visit Greenwich. I'm also honored to continue as the co-chair of the Sustainability Committee, so thank you, Fred. You can always count on me to be the adult in the room, and that will never change. Temperament is everything in public office, and a spirit of respectful collegiality is essential even when we disagree. And open debate does not diminish, but indeed nurtures democracy. I will continue to champion our youth and seniors and everyone in between. Whatever role I'm in, I want to be a contributing member of a welcoming and inclusive Greenwich community. So thank you for your partnership on this journey.
Well, thank you, and we appreciate your service these past 4 years before that, and your future service, along with your son. Looking forward to more great things from you in the future. And thank you, I can't believe I forgot Yara, we just heard about that the other night. You know, Yara Burnett was a terrific woman who served the town in many different capacities, like Art Norton. And so we'll certainly keep Yara and her family in our thoughts and prayers. So thank you. And thank you for throughout the Boys and Girls Club. I don't know how, as an old club kid, I don't know how I missed it. Yeah, for you, for your service. Okay, and she, like I said, she's still going to be part of everything and helping to run the Sustainability Committee, where you've done a really good job, and appreciate that, and looking forward to more great things in the future with you. Okay, going on, old business, there is none, but new business, we will start out with our Deputy Chief, James Bonney, who's here to talk about the amendment to Traffic Ordinance Schedule 1B, parking, stopping, and standing prohibited. And good morning, Jimmy. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
And I just wanted to thank Select Person McGuigan. She's been a pleasure to deal with, and thank you for your service. This morning, I'm here as a result of multiple community outreaches to the Parking Services Department about parking on Steamboat Road. One of the issues that we have noticed is that back when Bonero's was open and they owned a parking lot across the street, there were different driveway aprons that are no longer in existence, and they never changed the town parking ordinances in regards to where parking is allowed and where it's not allowed. Currently, it says you can't park 80 feet south of Oneida Drive, and there's signs that say you can, so they're not legitimate signs. So we get a lot of complaints about not enough parking, and we get a lot of complaints about too much parking and blocking of driveways, so we try to balance our response to be as reasonable as possible and to try to address everyone's concerns, but it's impossible, and I can't make everyone happy, but we do the best we can. So currently, what we looked at this meeting, and there's going to be more coming, where there's just signs that were put up without being put in the ordinance. But we try to do, if we do one or two at a time, I think it's addressable. Otherwise, it's just overwhelming. And we do spend a significant amount of time with public outreach and letters and things, trying to contact people and make sure that they're all aware of the changes that we're proposing. So currently, what we're proposing is basically is to extend the parking regulation so you can park closer to Oneida Drive. There's a fire hydrant there, and currently our proposal is to allow people to park within 35 feet of Oneida Drive. One of the public constituents here said that that's where the parking meter is located, which, not the parking meter, the fire hydrant is located, which would be an issue. But I have one of my guys going out there to double check with a tape measure, so he should be texting me at any time and telling me what the official distance is. But at this point, we have a couple amendments that we want to change. The first proposal is Schedule 1 parking prohibited. In accordance with provisions, Section 14-4, no person shall park at any time on the following street portions of streets or parking lots. It says, and we want to delete this part of the ordinance that says Steamboat Road, east side from Oneida, southerly for a distance of 165 feet. And we want to add east side from Oneida, southerly for a distance of 35 feet. So in other words, the first 35 feet, you would be no parking. And then east side from a point 225 feet south of Oneida, extending southerly for a distance of 115 feet. Now that's in the area where many of the public here are residing. There were some private people posting signs that look like town signs that said no parking. So we're going to actually make that area no parking. And there was a sightline issue for a condominium complex that you were allowed to park within the town ordinance says you could park 5 feet from the driveway, and we've pushed it back to 15 feet to give them added sightline. I know for a fact, because I've heard it from multiple people, that no one wants anyone to park in front of their house. I get it. But this one is a concern because I actually went down to the house and drove in the driveway where the condo comes out. And it comes out at a weird angle. You actually have to drive up the driveway to get to the crest of it. And it is difficult to see to the left. So that's why we extended it down to 15 feet. As far as my suggestions and the ordinance that we're putting forth here, it doesn't affect anything past that location. So it's not changing the parking ordinances south of that location. I think it's 375 feet south of Oneida Drive. I know there's other people that have concerns further south, but that is not what I'm here for today. We could always come back for that and talk about that area of Steamboat Road, but it just actually gets very confusing the bigger we make this thing. So we're trying to do the, hit the points that are most critical right now, and sight lines and parking signs that are not legal, we want to fix. The second, which is Schedule 4, 2-hour parking timed. In accordance with provision section 14-6.1, no person shall park over 2 hours on any of the following streets. And we want to delete where it says east side from a point 80 feet south of Oneida Drive, extending southerly for a distance of 200 feet. And we want to add east side from a point of 35 feet. So we're going from 80 to 35 to add more parking. That's just south of the fire hydrant. And then east side from a point 375 feet south of Oneida, extending southerly for a distance of 70 feet. And what that does is addresses the parking and the sight lines in front of those houses where the person was putting up their sign. We're going to make no parking all in that area over there, so that they don't have to put their own signs up, and it's legal. And that's really what we're asking for today. It's confusing, and a lot of people are interested in it. We sent out public notice with maps.
Yeah, it would have been helpful if we had a map.
I thought you had a map. You don't have a map?
I don't have one in my packet.
Well, are we going to vote on this today, or is this going to just be a first
No,
read?
I think this needs to be up for discussion so that we could talk about it. I mean,
Yeah,
I
we
wouldn't
can-
vote on this
And we
today.
could even, and I know the area pretty well, and you will too, once you go down there, take a
Yeah,
look
I'm
at it.
just always like
Yeah, we have
northeast,
the letter.
southwest challenged.
The letter that we sent out to everyone has Google Maps and things drawn in it. I'll make sure it's clearly marked, and we'll send it to you.
And
Yeah,
it's-
more importantly, I mean, because we do, all three of us know the area quite well. It's more about if we don't have it in our packet, it means it wasn't posted to the public.
Yeah.
So we should post it.
Well, we sent it out to the residents on the street, but as far as, the website, probably not on the website. You're probably right.
No, and thank you. I know you're balancing the need for parking with,
People's desires.
well, and also, sightline obstructions, which are a big deal. I mean, I know it's hard to fix every single one of them when you have, 23,000 properties, structures, private homes. A lot of them have obstructions, and have for decades and decades, and when no one says anything, it just goes on. So when people speak up, that's when we, can take a look at that. So, and we've done similar things around town where it's a balance of parking and public safety. So, but this is good, and it's only first read, so we'll get some more public input on this.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. So, in case there's any questions, if you could hang around for a few
I'm going
minutes.
to stick around, yeah.
Thanks,
We'll stick
Chief.
around. Thank you.
Okay, so we waived our rule here, so we're going to allow speakers on this item with a few-minute limit, but if you go over a little bit, don't worry about it. We don't have a big schedule today,
We
so.
have a trap door, so. it's good.
we're-
Conrad Titan? Titan, sorry.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Selectman and select women. As I'm a resident of Greenwich for only 50 years, and I love this town. And I am, first of all, let me just say, as Henry VIII said to his 6 wives, I shall not keep you long. So I am aware of your time limit. I don't speak as someone who hates parking. Parking is a big problem. When I leave here, I am going to CVS to pick up some important prescriptions for my wife. Many, many times when I go to CVS, the parking lot is full. And then you go into Greenwich Avenue, and you can't, and that's a dangerous place anyhow, because cars stop and they wait and back up. So I believe we need more parking. But it's a cliche, but things become a cliche because they are true. And the situation that I'm about to tell you about is an accident waiting to happen. I'm not here on behalf of any people who want parking or don't want parking. Our condominium has 3 houses on the road and 4 houses behind the road. I live behind the 3 houses on the road. There's sufficient parking there for our residents and guests and service people. But every time that I leave, my avocation is a pilot, and I have landed in Washington, D.C. on that runway where that tragic accident. And so people who are trained don't always look out. And I'm always so concerned when I go up that driveway, not just for the cars, but for people on the sidewalk, because mothers and fathers with baby carriages run through there, run across. And so the traffic is fast and many, many vehicles. On the side where the issue is the parking, there are no parking from the waterfront all the way to
Dean Harbor.
where the parking now is in question. And there's so many people who are there all the time because there are 2 condominiums with 4 stories. There are 2 office buildings. There's a wonderful club at the end where they often have events. I'm not saying this happens all the time, but at some of their events, they do serve beverages that might make people not as careful as they should be. And every time that I go out of that driveway, I am so concerned. And there has been for 25 years, and this isn't someone that put up the sign, it's a town sign, no parking, standing, or stopping. So and it's wonderful, Chief, that you've taken into account moving back the sight lines, but if there's a sight line and it says no 2-hour parking, people are going to park in front of that. If that ends up being the decision, then in front of that 2 signs, 2-hour parking, there should be the sign that had been there for a quarter of a century at least, no parking, standing, or stopping. And even moving it back 15 feet, there are very wide trucks that can park there. In the Bible, Thomas, the Apostle Thomas, wasn't there at the resurrection. And so he came back, and then he does see Jesus. And Jesus said to him, "Now that you see me, I believe you believe that I exist." So for God's sakes, I'm asking you, and you suggested this, that you make a field trip and drive up that driveway and see what it looks like, even with it back 15 feet. Now, I've lived there only for 50 years. I'm going to end by telling you that the Motor Vehicle Bureau thinks that I'm going to live there much longer, and I'll tell you why. Last year, when I went to renew my license, after waiting a long, long time, I finally get up to the counter and I pay, and the clerk behind the counter said, "This is good for 8 years." And I shouted, I'm not going to shout here, but you could hear me in the entire building, and I shouted, "Oh no, that is terrible." So she said, "What is the problem?" And I said, "Do you think that I want to come back here and deal with the Motor Vehicle Bureau when I'm 100 years old?" And then there's laughter in the entire building, and she responded by saying, "Next."
Thank you, Conrad.
Thank you. David Elliott, please.
Appreciate that.
Good morning.
Morning, David, how are you?
David Elliott, 611 Steamboat Road. I've been a resident there for 77 years, sans 3 years, 3 years and 9 months military service. I was one of the original people that complained about this probably in 1985 and whatever, when the parking came up. The letter I received in the mail had 2 pages. I didn't get a map. I was hoping I'd get a map so I could understand it a little better. Yeah, this is the second time I've been here for this. First time was because of safety concerns. There was a lot of cars parked on the road, and we could not see to get out of the driveway. The northbound traffic, we couldn't see, especially in the summer when there was more traffic. From Oneida Drive to the southern terminus is a dead-end street. So whatever comes down and is not a resident is going to go back up. And they don't always respect the speed limit. We had the signs, no parking, no stopping, no standing, installed at the northern side of 595 driveway, all the way down to 611, 613. And that cured the problem. We could see, so there would not be an accident. Now, in the letter that I received, it doesn't say anything about the leading Schedule 1B, which was no parking, no stopping, no standing. They took the signs down maybe in September. I don't remember the exact date, but came and yanked it out of the ground, said it was illegal. I don't know, because I called Barbara Schellenberg, and I asked if any changes, and he said if any changes were to be made, they come before you. On the fire hydrant, 45 feet south of Oneida Drive, Deputy Chief is going to find out that's 45 feet, because I went down with a steel tape and measured it. And I've been a carpenter for 55 years, so I can read something like that. 2 examples, or actually there's more, but later this summer, August or September, there was a bus that dropped off a bunch of people to Del Mar for dinner, parked in front of my house. I'm not talking about a school bus, I'm talking about a Greyhound-style bus. And he was there for at least 2.5 to 3 hours. I could not see to get out of my driveway. And in northbound traffic, if I went out the wrong time, I would have got nailed. About 2 weeks later, 2 more buses parked in front of 603. Again, a Greyhound-style bus. They were waiting for people to come off a boat that was supposed to come into General Ree. They were there for 2.5 hours. Most of the time, I can't say most of the time, but a lot of the times, there are taxi and limousine commission limousines parked standing with the engine running for anywhere from a half hour to 2 hours, waiting for a fare. They just take off. They don't get a fare from General Ree or anywhere else. They're just using it as staging area. That happens 2 or 3 times a week. If they get 2 of them back to back up near my driveway, people from 603 can't see that oncoming traffic northbound. And today, before, excuse me, the cars and trucks today are larger than they were when we came here first time, so it's very hard to see. One last thing is, if I can find it, The speed limit on the street is 25 miles an hour. If anybody, usually people drive at 30 miles an hour, which is 44 feet per second. That's 106 feet in front of 603. So that gives you about 2 seconds to make a decision of whether to come and go. But I think a lot of the times people are exceeding that, 35 maybe. So that can be taken into consideration also. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much for the details there. And maybe we just applied to get the speed limit reduced on Port Chuck Road, and we were told it's a long shot with DOT, and they approved it. So maybe we can go from 25 to 20. We have to do a traffic count, and we have to get approved by the state. We can't do that on our own. But, you know, as Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And we were told it was a long shot, and they approved it, and the residents are extremely happy, because we told them, you know, the odds are they'll say no, but let's give it a shot, and we did, and they approved it. So, you know, maybe if we could do some traffic counts there and see an appeal to the state and see what they say, maybe to lower it 5 miles an hour. I don't know if you're gonna get any more than that, but they can make a big difference.
Yeah, but 25 is fine, I think. But I think
But you say,
as normal,
but people
don't
normally go
normally-
5 to 10
Yeah.
miles over the limit. They do that all the time, even on the highways, and that's why most cars don't get pulled over on the state highways, because, you know, they give usually a 10 mile an hour leeway there. So
Yeah.
if it's 60, you're going 68, you're probably okay, even though you're in violation. You go 75, 80, you're getting pulled over. I think the same thing, it's psychological. So maybe having it 20 miles an hour would do the same thing. It's up to you guys, but I'm happy to look into
one
it.
more thing is there's deliveries for General Re. They don't use the loading docks on both sides. They park on the street on the southbound side, which pushes the cars over to the northbound side. So that's something else to take into consideration.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, appreciate it.
Trish White?
So the traffic count should be in the summer also. It's a
Sure.
pretty seasonal street.
Yeah, you want to get accurate counts. Yeah, thank you.
Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
Tracy. Hi.
I live at 595 Steamboat Road, and I'm impacted probably the most from the 600 building. I've been here for 14 years. In the beginning, it wasn't too bad, but after COVID, the building completely filled up. And once it did, we have nothing but contracting trucks coming all the time. I'm directly in front of the building. So I have people who turn around all the time from the building. I have contractors who are always going in and out to fix things in the building, flower people, Uber people, food people. As Dave has said, it's been a very, very busy, busy street. And I wind up going out there. I started always with a really good heart, putting notes on people's cars saying, please don't park here. I can't see when I pull out of my driveway. I've had 2 near misses in accidents, and the public is not very nice. And people believe that they can park wherever they want. I called the police department. The first time they came out, they said, you have 5 feet from the edge of your driveway. So I painted a yellow line after he measured it for me. People will park on a postage stamp. They don't want to walk down the street. They don't want to look for a parking space. So there I am, yellow line, didn't work. All your signs don't work. As much as we keep saying we need signs that say no parking standing, I have had them in front of my house. Nobody pays attention to them. That's the thing that I don't know how you're going to solve that. I came home the other night from dinner, and the limousines were parked in front of my driveway. I couldn't get in my driveway. The next day, I came home from an errand, and a food delivery woman was parked a quarter into my driveway with her car running. I barely got in my driveway. She wasn't there for me to ask her to move, so I just pushed around around her car and got in until I saw her. They don't care. They just don't care. But I can't take it anymore because it's so, so bad. And I want to know from you why we have to take the impact of 600 on our side of the street. Because all of the limo drivers could park right in front of the building and wait for their people. But they don't, because all the signs along that say no parking. And they could pull up in front of the main entrance of the building to deliver food. The contractors, I have to say one thing. 600's been wonderful to me, the property manager, Pat Galazzo. It's been absolutely fabulous. He always goes out. If I go over there, they're sick of seeing me. The reception guy will look up who the contractor is, find him in the building, ask him to move the truck. But it's an ongoing thing, and we've really been impacted terribly by it, and people aren't nice. And now I'm not a nice person, and I was always a nice person. But now, people will tell you to go F yourself, they'll tell you to call the police if you don't like where they're parked. It's really very, very an unhappy situation. And so, yes, I'm the one that put the sign that says no parking in front of mine. So I'm the one. I have wrote a letter to the chief of police. He was wonderful. A week later, I walk out, I thought I saw God. There is a sign that says no parking, no standing. I wrote him a letter and said, thank you. But it's gone. The parking people came and they took it away. So I'm beside myself, so are my neighbors, and I would like you to hear that out from all of us and come by Steamboat Road and see what we have to put up with. And I always have to laugh too, because when we complain to the parking people, they send somebody down to look and give tickets out, but then there's nobody parked there. And I'm like, where are they when this is really, really bad? So that is my, complaint to you guys. And I would like you to think about doing something about 600 and talking to them about all the limo cars that come by and see if they can start lining them up and perhaps take the no parking signs away in front of their buildings so that the limos will line up there. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate that information and.
Didn't we, I feel like we heard Steamboat Road before for speeding and, like, this isn't the first time we're hearing Steamboat.
We had the light issue on Steamboat Road, the traffic light issue, a couple of years ago.
I feel like I recall speeding or something.
But that's reaching out to the owners of 600. Steamboat Road is also another thing that we'll do. You're right, it gets a little frustrating after a while.
In the proposal that I just made, there would be no parking in front of your house. So that whole area would be no parking. So you're going to get what you want. But now it's delayed, so. But we
You don't have
can't
to- you don't have to
enforce
put up
it.
any more
We can't
signs.
enforce it.
I even have a flag out that has the police blue line on it, because my son's a retired policeman.
Yeah.
Nobody pays attention to that.
No, if there's not a sign there, they're going to park there. So I can't enforce anything until there's a legal sign there.
Yeah, gotcha,
And,
gotcha.
so now we're going to have to wait at least until next meeting.
Yeah, okay.
And we'll straighten out whatever, he is an accurate ruler. We got to change that line a little bit. So there has been 2 traffic studies, one for the building that they're renovating just north of where Monero's was. On
Oh,
that
yeah.
corner. So they did a traffic study for
The
that.
Markinot building.
And then I had my guys do a traffic study about a month ago.
Could we
And-
reach out to the property owner at 600 about the limos and all that and just have a conversation? And if I have to send them a letter?
Well, they do have the ability to let them park in
Right, but I'm saying maybe
in
have it,
front of their on their property, but,
you have the contact information?
I don't, but I'll find it. I have contact information for everyone in town. I can get it. So, we'll contact them and see if we can at least straighten that part out. But, you have some plumber show up or someone else, it's very difficult
Yeah,
to control them unless there's a sign.
Yeah,
one
once
off-
the signs are there, then
Yeah.
enforce it with tickets. I mean,
Yeah, all
it's
we can do is hammer
unfortunate.
people. You got to call us when it happens.
Yeah.
May I
Yeah.
say something? I have called the police when they have parked there illegally in front of the sign that says no parking standing or anything. The young police officers have come up twice, and they've said to me, "What do you want me to do?" And I said, "Give him a freaking ticket."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, he's just a working guy, just let him go." I mean,
Well, they shouldn't be doing that, but, you know, the parking enforcement officers that work in parking are ruthless and don't care. They will give you
those kind of
tickets.
people.
Right, those are the ones you want. So, you know,
Give me tickets, too.
Yeah, they give everyone tickets. So, as I said, when this finally goes through, that is definitely on it already. There's gonna be no parking in front of your house, so.
And
And
then-
I know exactly what you're talking about, unless maybe a Cooper Mini could legally park there, but other than that, you're gonna be over the line, so
And
it's
they
not
are
gonna work.
always over the
Yeah,
line.
yeah, I understand. Okay, that's all I had.
Does
Thank
that mean I have to remove my yellow painted line now?
I would suggest you don't touch any town properties. That's gonna get you in trouble,
I
so,
have to say, it has helped a bit.
okay,
It gives the public a guideline.
I understand.
Well, if you see any more illegal signs, it's punishable by 50 push-ups
Yeah.
at the next meeting.
Yeah, next meeting we'll deal with that, okay? And we're gonna send out those, Google Maps to make sure everyone gets them.
Thank you.
Dave?
And I think some people did get them. Did anyone here get the maps? You didn't get the maps,
No.
okay? So we're gonna do that,
Just the letter.
and then, we're gonna make sure
I know
this,
where I live.
yeah. And we'll make sure it's really clear,
Yeah.
like, we'll just shade in the area that we propose, no parking, so that there's no question,
No,
okay?
I like, yeah, this is good. This is getting the feedback we need and responding. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
Related to speeding, we at one point did
Yep.
have a
If you could
flashing, sorry,
speak into the microphone
Oh, come on up.
and identify yourself, please.
while we're here and have this, I've been there.
You identify yourself, please?
Susan Keating.
Thank you.
We've been there for 12 years. There was at one point, we had one of those flashing says that you're going 30, 35. That was
Yeah,
there
I remember
temporarily.
this. I
Yeah.
totally remember.
Was it
'cause
a
that's-
permanent one, or was
Oh,
it?
no, it was just on a trailer.
Because
you
that's
know,
when we
just-
started
Those
the
work,
Traffic Matters
those work, but
email.
we only use them for like 3 weeks at a time, and then we have to keep moving them around. We don't have
Yeah.
enough. They do work. The minute you take them away, the speeding continues, starts right up again. They do work. And I put one in the budget a couple of years ago, and it got kicked right out, and it was only like 50 grand, I think, or something like that. And one of the BET members, former BET members now said, well, I've been here 40 years, I've never seen these things in town. We see them all over the
Yeah.
place.
We have speeding going towards the end, and then we have speeding coming
They do
out
work.
from the end. And also now electric bikes are flying down our street, which is even a little scarier, these electric
Yeah,
scooters.
yeah.
Or mopeds, so, anyway.
No, it's dangerous. No, I've done many walks down your road. It's, over the years, it's getting worse.
I can address that. The trailer that you used to see on Steamboat Road was my secret covert license plate reader that I had, and I just used a speed trailer to hide it in. That was really just there for a license plate reader when we were reading plates. We do have battery operated at the police department, speed signs, but they only last like 5 days, and in the winter, they last like 2 days. So what we would definitely need is something from the highway department, or, you know, to put a permanent one up, or some sort of traffic calming measure.
Would we be allowed to do it? I know you have to put them up, obviously you need to get approvals, and you have to meet a certain, criteria for that.
Well, that would be the ones that give the tickets. The town of Greenwich could put those flashing signs anywhere they want, but, it's not cheap.
Permanent ones.
Yeah, they're expensive.
We just did that at Valley Road in Costco, which they're having a big issue, well, they have since I was a kid.
Right.
Before that, people have been hit and killed on this intersection on Valley Road near the St. Lawrence Club. So the lights, I do think are having an impact, flashing. It hasn't solved the problem, but you are aware of it. When you see you're going 5 or 10 miles over the limit, it tends to slow you down. So I mean, maybe, let's do this first, one step at a time, and get this done.
Yeah.
And again, I'll just threw it out there about the speed limit. Again, it wouldn't solve it, but I think it would have an impact,
What about speed bumps?
Well, I think if you talk like, I think that's District 1, right?
2.
2? Like, get your District 2 RTM members to ask for some sort of traffic calming measures on that road.
Could we go,
That's
I know
probably how
that,
you would
I
do
know
it.
that this was brought up. Can we search some old minutes. I'm pretty sure like some of this was discussed and dispositioned.
That
I'm
was-
not saying that it won't change anything, but I'd love to
Right.
connect the two.
Right.
Because I remember it like it was yesterday,
I think it
but
was the lights.
but it wasn't yesterday. No, it was speeding. It was
Yeah,
totally
so those,
speeding.
it's, as far, just to be clear, the speeding cameras that are up around the schools is a state-controlled thing.
Yeah.
And they're not approved for non-school areas, and there's all sorts of regulations. They have to get approved by the state.
Right.
So that's not something that we'd be talking about, giving out tickets. But just to have a light that flashes you're speeding, I don't think you need to have any sort of permission from anyone to do that, but it's not cheap. You know, they have to have power, they gotta be
Well,
cemented
like
in.
what Conrad said, I mean, it's a good point. When people are coming back from an event and it's at night from the club, right? They probably are not in the same mental state coming back as when they went there.
But having your speed flash in front of your face might help, but,
Yeah, yeah.
Well-
So
you know, like it
it's
comes
not-
up red when you're going over the
Hey,
speed
I
limit.
never looked at it that way.
Yeah, but
I
you,
think
that's
should-
something you should probably talk to DPW about.
Okay.
Because they have like traffic engineers that deal with traffic calming things, and that's an option.
Okay.
So that's the way I would go about it.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure I don't have to remind anybody that our department heads are busy developing budgets for the coming year.
they
This is the time to ask DPW, if that could be put in their budget, because I would say that $50,000 is not a big investment.
Well, that was for the mobile ones, but certainly, whatever it is, I'll reach out to Jim Michael and Gabriella.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your time here.
Thank you.
We'll see you in 2 weeks. Yeah, and the next one's on December 9th,
Tuesday. Yeah,
Tuesday. We had to
2
move
weeks.
that one too. At 10:30. We had to move that one too. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we find those minutes too? Ken?
I'll see what I can find with that. I
Thanks.
don't recall it myself, but we'll
Yeah,
track it down.
I don't think you were,
It predates me, so it definitely predates
and
Ken.
it was Chief Heavey that was discussing it.
Okay.
I'll
Next,
try and track it down.
next we have the request for the, thank you, everyone. Thanks, Chief. Thank you, Conrad.
Thank you.
We have the request for the approval of a lease renewal with the River House Adult Daycare Center. It's a first read, and our town administrator / COO, Kate Bush is here.
Hi,
Good morning, Kate.
good morning. This is, should be pretty straightforward. The lease allowed for 2 10-year extensions. They simply had to request that 6 months in advance of the renewal date, and they did in fact do that. So that's what you have before here. There's no other proposed changes to the lease.
Time sensitive, Kate?
No, because the lease doesn't expire until the spring,
Yeah. Okay.
but
Yep,
the ask is 6 months in advance.
No, we love having them there, and they do a great job. So, we'll be able to vote on this. So we'll leave it open for 2 weeks to hear what people say, and then we'll vote on the 9th.
Okay.
All righty, well, that's a quick one. And then,
Your next one, too.
you have the next one, too? Are you pinch hitting for,
Oh, Barbara is joining us.
actually, no. That's
Barbara's
right.
with us over Zoom.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I misread that, so no, so you could,
Yeah,
It does say
I'm
Kate
here.
Bush.
If
It
I
does
cater, are you presenting this? I wasn't
Yes.
sure
Kate.
because your name
Yeah.
was on it,
So
so, but
No, it's probably
I can.
not,
so this is the approval for the retainer agreement with Zabel Schellenberg Law Firm, which has been doing a terrific job for our town.
and it does include an increase in the rate, which they haven't had in about 4.5 years, I think.
Almost 5.
So, but it's very straightforward if you read through the retainer. Lays out what's included in the retainer, what's not, what happens when something that's kind of retainer work goes over a certain amount of hours in a month. So,
Yeah, and Barbara, did you want to throw any, thanks, Kate, any other information here about the?
yeah, no, I just want to mention, I tried to keep it in the same format as what Ben Branyan had originally negotiated. So basically, it is the rate increase. But as Kate said, we haven't asked for any rate increase in 4.5 years. And I will also tell you that we've kept the rates below most of what other outside counsel for the town charges. So we're cognizant of that. Also, the increase in rates did not cause me to have to increase the law department budget at all for the coming year. We're actually coming in at a very slight decrease over last year, so I'm proud of that. And the other thing I did is I wanted to update it in terms of, what is actually happening, obviously, in 4.5 years. I mean, I have not changed as town attorney, but other people who are working on certain matters from the firm have changed. So I've included their names here and just made this consistent with how office hours have been running. We tried to keep things efficient for the town so that the fees don't get too high.
Well, thank you. And
But I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Sure. Well, thank you, Barbara. And I just will say as an aside, since we've been here, we've seen a complete overhaul with the law department, and the people you've selected have been top-notch. They're terrific, their legal expertise, but also they get back right away, which is, to me, I'm very, very grateful for. A lot of these things are time-sensitive, and in 6 years, I've never had to wait at all. They've been terrific, and each one in their areas of expertise have been really, really good. So I just want to throw that out there and express my gratitude for their, I think, what is
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm also very proud of the department. And you're right, with a number of retirements the past few years, we've brought in 3 new assistant town attorneys, and they're wonderful. I just have a great department right now, and I really enjoy working with all of those people.
And of course, Amina is still there, who's just a
Right,
superstar.
we have Amin and Abby,
Abby.
the longtime lifers, so to speak, at this point.
They're both terrific, and it's a great combination of institutional knowledge with the new people coming in with their skill sets. And again, I think it was a job well done, so thank you.
Thanks.
Any comments?
Well, so go ahead.
Oh, you can go ahead.
Well, I did come in with questions, and I was, coming into the meeting, I was not prepared to vote. I was thinking that I would abstain, but you've explained why I don't remember voting on this before, because 4.5 years predates me, so I didn't have
Right.
the last contract to compare to this one, and I did want to know, budget-wise, how this contract would compare with the last one and how it fits into the budget. I think that said, though, this is my last meeting, so I will abstain if we're being asked to vote today.
And Barbara, is it time sensitive for next meeting?
No, it's not time sensitive. It's, totally up to you if you want to vote today or you want to wait.
Yeah, no, I mean, we could wait, definitely going to wait until next,
Our incoming selectwoman will be in the same boat.
She has been watching this meeting over Zoom, so she's
Okay.
at least aware of the discussion, and I can make sure she's up to speed.
yeah, that would be great, because I don't want unnecessary delays, and so if she has that information, that would be great.
Make sure she gets all the handouts and everything. so.
Thanks, Ken. All right, but Barbara, thank you, and appreciate all you do, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Okay, have a good holiday.
You too, thank you. Okay, do we have any
Yes, we
appointments?
do. I tried to print this out, so give me a moment. Okay, do you mind if I do it in a batch?
That's fine.
Okay, so Lauren Rabin, I motion that we appoint the following 4 members to the Citizens Police Advisory Committee: Adriana Carrillo Harper, Angelica Arenas, James Joyella, and John Mastracchio. They're all returning members for a term expiring December 31st, 2028.
Janet Stone McWigan, I second.
All those in favor, Fred Camillo is a yes.
Lauren Rabin, yes.
Janet Stone McWigan, yes.
Lauren Rabin, I motion that we nominate Angelica Arenas as a new returning member of the Board of Human Services for a position R3 with a term expiring June 30th, 2027.
Janet Stone McWigan, I second.
All those in favor, Fred Camillo is a yes.
Lauren Rabin, yes.
Janet Stone McWigan, yes.
Okay, and finally, Lauren Rabin, I motion that we nominate Michael Gordano as a new regular member to the Julian Curtis School Building Committee.
Janet Stone McWigan, I second. I think he pronounces his name Gaudiano.
Thank you.
Yes, he does. Fred Camillo, all in favor, Fred Camillo is a yes.
Lauren Rabin, yes.
Janet Stone McWigan, yes.
That's it.
Okay, Lauren, thank you as always. Job well done, keeping us on track for everything. And before we sign off, we wanted to present our colleague and teammate with a proclamation here, as this is her last Board of Selectmen meeting. Whereas Janet Stone McGuigan has been a distinguished member of the Board of Selectmen for the past 4 years, having been elected in 2021 and then re-elected in 2023, serving honorably and with a true sense of community service and dedication to Greenwich. And whereas during her tenure on the Board of Selectmen, Janet has been an advocate for transparency, careful and public deliberation of important matters, famously pushing for second reads, while always having a friendly smile and cheerful demeanor, which we all know. And whereas Janet has committed herself to making Greenwich a greener community during her time on the board, serving as co-chair of the Greenwich Sustainability Committee and as board liaison to the Energy Management Advisory Committee, in addition to all the work she has put in as board liaison to the Harbor Management Commission and to the Old Greenwich and Julian Curtis School Building Committees. And whereas before being elected to the Board of Selectmen, Janet, whose professional career includes working as a federal mediator and on environmental policy research, was a member of the RTM and was a key member of many organizations in town, including the League of Women Voters of Greenwich, the PTA Council, and the Junior League of Greenwich and Barbara's House. And whereas Janet is not done with public service yet, as she has been reelected to the RTM and will continue as co-chair, thank you, of the Sustainability Committee, but will be much missed on this board. And we wish her and her husband Peter and sons Peter and James nothing but success. Now, therefore, I, Fred Camillo, the first selectman of the town of Greenwich, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, November 25th, 2025, as Janet Stone McGuigan Day in the town of Greenwich, and urge all our residents to join me in applauding everything Janet has done and will continue to do for our town.
Thank you so much. I am so touched. Oh,
They're a little wet because we have in water.
And
Thank
there's a
you.
card in there.
oh gosh. Wait, where is it?
No, they're right here.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
so
Thank you.
this is for you. You want to come on in, Lauren?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I am honored and humbled and touched, and thank you for the last 4 years, and I look forward to many more years, maybe in a different role, but we will continue to work together, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Seeing no other business, is there a motion to adjourn?
Lauren Rabin, so moved.
Janet Stone McWigan, I second.
All those in favor, Fred Camillo is a yes.
Lauren Rabin, yes.
Janet Stone McWigan, yes.
Okay, thanks, everyone. Thanks, Ken. See you all soon.
Thank you.